Professor Rickard Sandberg, member of the Committee of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Please tell me, what is this year's prize about?
This year's prize is about how you keep our immune system in check. Basically, our immune system is extremely powerful. We need to be able to fight off any possible microbe, even the ones we have never been exposed to before. At the same time, we need to not attack our own tissues and organs. And if we do, we get autoimmune disorders. So this prize is about a new mechanisms that keeps our immune system in check in order to only has its positive sides, but try to remove the negative sides.
Very exciting. How is this done then? This check? Yeah.
Yes, so our immune system, they're born with combinatorial astronomical numbers of receptors or sensors you can think of that go around and check all the cells for infected microbes or pathological pieces. And in the first step, all of these immune cells, or the T cells that we're talking about here, they go to the thymus, an organ, and there all the ones that react on our own substances and structures, they are removed. But that is not enough. So many cells escape out into our bodies, and there they can still self-react to our own organs and tissues. That's why we need this secondary mechanism, the regulatory T cells. So they are executing this function to check to make sure we are not attacking our own cells and tissues.
And what could happen when we are attacking our own cells and tissues?
Yes, exactly. So that leads to really unfortunate diseases. Examples are type 1 diabetes, where insulin-producing cells are attacked, or in rheumatoid arthritis, and many more autoimmune diseases. And one of the clues came from an autoimmune disease called IPEX, which is much more rare. But if you have a mutation in a particular gene, you develop very acute autoimmune disorders, and you have a full spectrum of disease manifestations like chronic diarrhea or eczema on the skin and type 1 diabetes stages. So.
And why is this prize so important, would you say?
I mean, it opens a completely new dimension, sort of how to think about this important immune system's balance check, sort of how to keep them in check while still having this broad repertoire. And by knowing about the existence of these regulatory T cells, we also have the ability to start thinking about how can we increase their activity or decrease their activity. So, for example, in autoimmune disorders, where they're not having sufficient suppressive effect, we would like to boost their function or the numbers. And by this knowledge, we have new ideas to explore. And there's early stages, and it takes a long while to develop new therapeutics. But of course, we have a new handle on how to attack these problems.
And how could this, in the future, affect our daily lives?
Yeah, so hopefully these approaches will be effective in order to stimulate these T cells, the regulatory T cells, to help you suppress autoimmune disorders, or maybe make organ transplantation less problematic by dampening the immune system's ability to reject the new organ. And also in cancer, it's being explored if one can remove their suppressive ability to make it easier for immune cells to attack cancer cells.
In the future?
In the future, exactly. But there are over 200 clinical tests ongoing, so there's a lot of activity, but of course it's a long road to travel.
So what about the laureates, these 3 laureates? Could you tell us something about them?
Yes, so I don't know them personally. I don't think I actually have ever met any of those 3. But Shimon Sakaguchi, of course, is a very large figure in the immunological sciences, and has been following this rich tradition of Japanese immunologists, whereas I think the other 2 laureates are perhaps more surprised by being awarded this prize for their very important contributions, but they also work in another, one of them work in the biotech sector, and the other one has had a career also that is maybe not a typical academic professor career.
So what kind of careers do they have that surprises us, would you say?
No, but they made their discoveries in, over 20 years ago in a biotech company already, and they have a different career path from there on, but the important thing is to make a breakthrough discovery, not in the context of how you're doing it, of course.
Finally, if you would tell me in 30 seconds why you are so excited about this year's prize, what would that be?
I mean, it's a fundamental discovery about the principle that sort of keeps our immune system in check. Very important for not having us all develop autoimmune disorders. So that is the reason for me.
Thank you so much, Professor Rickard Sandberg,
Sandberg,
member of the committee of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Thank you so much.